to not having read Ron Berger's Ethic of Excellence in its entirety, but I do have a copy that I carry everywhere with me, and one day I will get to read it fully. So I've tried this with my Year 9 class, my Year 10 class, and my Year 12 class, and in slightly different ways with each group. My Year 9s did a first draft of a newspaper report on animal farms, and I put the tables right around the edge of the classroom, put lots of post-it notes out, and they just wandered round and they read each other's work and they wrote little comments and they stuck them beside the work. And then they took that home with them and they redrafted. Now, I didn't actually read those initial drafts. All I saw was the final draft. So one of the things, and this relates very much to what Oliver was saying earlier on, is that I'm not convinced yet that I really know the impact of that critique. With my Year 10s, I did it slightly differently. I had tables laid out kind of cafe style, we had music playing, and they just moved around the room, sat at a table, wrote some comments on some post-it notes, and what they'd done there was letter to themselves, based on the Guardian family section, a letter to their old self and their younger self. I then took in a first draft, which I marked and returned to them, and they then final drafted it. So they had 3 goes at that. But again, I didn't really measure the impact between that original draft with the post-its and the draft that I then received. With my Year 12, which is a much smaller class, I only have 5 students in there, we put a paragraph up on the board and we critiqued it there and redrafted it. So the impact was much more visible with that, and it felt like it was a very valid process. So I feel very strongly that gallery critique is something that I want to use. But I'm very conscious that I haven't really measured its impact with the Year 9s and the Year 10 students. So I'm just thinking about how best to do that, because obviously all teachers, particularly English teachers, have lots of gripes about the amount of marking they have to do. And what I don't really want to do is just introduce an extra draft that I have to see. So I've been thinking about whether to ask the students, when they hand in the draft to me, to articulate the changes that they made and why they made them, based on the post-it notes and the feedback that they've received from their peers. So I'm thinking that that might be the thing that I trial next. But this is a very developmental thing for me, but I feel really pleased that through Twitter, I discovered this technique, I'm trialing it in my classroom and sharing it with my colleagues. That's it.